Bible poems, the prophecy of Isaiah. For the earth shall be full of the knowledge of the Lord as the waters cover the sea. In the temple, dazzled by God's holiness and his glorious throne, lips cleansed by hot altar coals and hard call to prophesy to hardened hearts. One vision concerning Judah, God's nation among the nations, and the King who reigns in Zion. Crises for their present kings, first Ahaz, who will not trust, later Hezekiah, who is taught to trust, the Holy One of Israel. Prosperity and security under threat from rising powers, Syria, then Assyria. The worldly way to seek unholy allies, Assyria, Egypt, Babylon. This is not God's way. At any rate, he rules these nations too, uses adversaries to sift his wayward people, his fruitless vine. See where injustice thrives on empty rituals and idols flourish. For the wicked there can be no peace. But each adversary will face a greater judgment, and always for his own people God will leave them some survivors, a faithful remnant. Vision of God's future purpose, Zion as his holy mountain, magnet to the nations. Peace restored not just to Israel, but to all the earth. Here the Lord will make a feast, swallow death, wipe tears away, none shall destroy or harm. Glimpses of a future king, with godly titles from David's stock, a righteous ruler, spirit anointed, king of power and beauty. Hezekiah tastes God's mercy, sees a sign on Ahaz's stairway, receives God's healing, trusts God's promise with Assyria's armies at the city gate, prays again and tastes deliverance. Sennacherib is no more. Babylon's envoys point to God's judgments yet to come, the city's future fall, dread years of exile. Another call for another time. Cry out now in words of comfort. Good tidings for Zion. Years of exile ending, the ransomed of the Lord will return and enter Zion with singing. The everlasting God declares it and decrees it. Pagan Cyrus will be his servant. Setting captives free, rebuilding God's city. Hard journey, but God will carry them. To Israel, his blind, failing servant, will come God's chosen servant, upon whom will rest God's Spirit, bringing justice to the nations, his mouth a sharpened sword. He will gather Israel back to God and more. Light to the Gentiles, salvation to the earth. He will learn to listen to God's voice, will not draw back, even when he feels the blows upon his back. God's servant bruised for our iniquities, for our transgressions slain. After suffering, he will see light and life and enjoy his righteous offspring. Come to the waters, all you who thirst. Time moves on. Again, some exiles have returned. Shattering of the dream, blind leaders, pagan worship. God looks for those, including foreigners, who keep his Sabbaths and all that means. Give him no rest till he makes Jerusalem his praise once more. Now speaks the King and servant. The year of favour, release of captives, the Lord's replanting, comfort to those who mourn for sin, vengeance to God's enemies. Once more the vision of a glorious future, restored Zion becomes new heavens and new earth, the past forgotten, curse reversed, life under God's perpetual blessing. Nations will see God's glory. Among them, the word will be proclaimed.